From 1939 to 1945, 50 million people lost their lives and hundreds of millions were injured in a war that consumed the globe. Out of the devastation of World War II came one woman's belief that the ultimate source for peace should start with children. This extraordinary idea led to an innovation that has forever impacted and changed our efforts to achieve world peace.
Building a peace requires as much moral stamina as waging a war, but it can give us, if we stay with it, the greatest reward that there is in the whole field of human effort.
In 1945, representatives from 51 countries formed the United Nations in an effort to give peace a more secure foundation. The following year, an American psychologist and professor at the University of Cincinnati, Ohio, named Dr. Doris Twitchell Allen, came up with an extraordinary innovation. She believed that by bringing 11-year-old children together from different countries, that international friendships could impact and change world peace. Dr. Allen envisioned a global organization dedicated to building global friendship. She developed her innovative approach to peace to create the Children's International Summer Villages, or CISV. Organizations such as the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, founded in 1915, focused on adults. No organization or individual before had stated as Doris Allen had. We must start with the children. This was the first time that children were seen as potential agents for social change.
Now this age of 11, you see, is the age that comes before adolescence. And in adolescence, the person is busy with adolescence. It is notoriously a turbulent period.
There have been all sorts of programs with older people and adults, but this is the first time where anyone has reached all the way down to 11, where they were still open-minded, they were relatively free of prejudice, and rather than try to break through barriers that were already set up with people in the way they thought with older people, that this was the right age. And they're vulnerable to change, and so that's why she picked age 11, which was a stroke of genius.
In 1947, Dr. Allen took her idea to UNESCO to ask for their support to fund her new plan. From 1947 till the first CISV village in 1951, she tested her innovation of starting with children with notable social scientists of the mid-20th century, including Dr. Margaret Mead, who served on the first CISV National Advisory Committee on Research. Dr. Allen traveled to Europe to survey international work with children. She found that all of the agencies were working with war-damaged children with the emphasis on restoring their health. No one was working on intercultural relationships and its impact on peace. The first CISV village in Cincinnati, Ohio was a unique, international, multilingual camp lasting for 1 month. Attending were delegations from 9 countries including Sweden, Mexico, Germany, Great Britain, France, Austria, Norway, Denmark, and the United States. 7 of the 9 countries had been at war only a few years earlier. To determine the innovation's impact, 12 social scientists conducted research at the camp directed at 2 questions. How could we build for peace? And what could citizens do to eliminate future wars? Norwegian delegate Raymond Vardner recalls being surprised that there would be Germans at this camp. He had learned that everything German was bad. He wondered how a young boy of 11 from such a bad country could play the harmonica so beautifully. In that moment, he realized that there were good people in all countries. In spite of the Cold War from 1954 until 1992, CISV maintained an active, non-political reciprocal exchange in communist countries where they were the only recognized organization for youth. From that first village of 54 children till today, over 200,000 people in more than 100 countries have participated in a CISV peace camp, including villages for deaf children. Children enjoy sports and crafts at the camp, but they also engage in specific peace education activities, including a national night, where each delegation shares their country's unique culture. The impact of CISV on children and adults worldwide has been immense.
We formed the most amazing friendships. I never expected to be able to get so close with someone in such a short amount of time, but CISV really shows that even in the tiniest amount of time, you can learn more about a person than you would just in the hallways at school, because people are really open-minded and understanding, and they want to learn about your culture and they want to learn about you.
During 6 decades, CISV has grown to include 8 international and local programs for youth ages 11 to 25. The Village program has remained as a 4-week international camp attended by 12 delegations of 11-year-olds with 2 boys and 2 girls and an adult leader. The 4 educational goals are diversity, human rights, conflict resolution, and sustainable development, which address attitudes, skills, and knowledge so that children can become active global citizens. Children do not need to travel far to experience CISV. They can join their local CISV junior branch where they are inspired to take action for a more just and peaceful world.
In junior branch, I've been given the opportunity to help the homeless by baking cookies, and also been able to clean a couple parks and a cemetery. I'm a part of CISV because I want to build peace in my community and my world. It's really shaped who I am as a human being today.
In a 2008 study evaluating the impact of CISV participation, most participants said CISV was a life-changing, invaluable experience never to be forgotten. Most participants stay in contact and sometimes meet for reunions. CISV has had a profound impact on many people's careers. Stein Skjoberg from the first CISV village is now chief judge in a federal court in Norway working with the United Nations in international law. CISV's Cecilia von Pesky was recently appointed United Nations Women's Representative for the Netherlands. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the international representative from the United States to the CISV International Board.
Through CISV, I fell in love with wanting to learn other languages. I might even want to be a French teacher. And I know that I want to join the Peace Corps and study abroad in college.
Building on Doris Allen's innovation, other organizations such as Seeds of Peace and Kids Can Free the Children use children to lead peace efforts. Brett Votero, an attorney in Massachusetts, attended a village in the Netherlands in 1972. He is running for president of CISV International at CISV's 2010 annual international meeting in Berlin, Germany.
I've stayed with CISV for almost 40 years because of the incredible impact that CISV has had on my life and the potential for change that CISV offers to the world. In 1951, CISV was a response to wars between nations, and we've been very effective. We have a 60-year history with almost 250,000 alumni who have been touched and whose lives have been changed by CISV's programs. But now it is time for CISV to look within nations to the violence that is taking place throughout the world. We have the technique, we have the resources, we have the skill and experience to bring all that to bear by offering programs in those parts of the world.
Sparked by the ravages of war, Dr. Allen's innovation of starting with 11-year-old children to build global friendships through CISV is impacting world peace and changing people's lives all over the globe. Dr. Doris Twitchell Allen received many honors in her lifetime, including a nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979, the year of the child. She died in 2002 at the age of 100, but her innovation lives on through children's peace efforts. At that first village in 1951, Senator Margaret Chase Smith said, "If we can get the children of the various nations to know each other better, then we will have planted real seeds for permanent peace to be maintained by the leaders of tomorrow, the children of today." 6 decades later, history will remember CISV's tremendous impact and change on global friendship created by children who are working on peace in every continent in the world. Living together in peace is one of the gravest problems our world faces. Without peace, nothing else will matter.